Hello and welcome to Community Crossroads. I'm your host, Carolina Astrain, and today on this show we learn about the Museum of the Coastal Bend, the VISD Education Foundation. We also learn about empty bowls and the Victoria Livestock Show. We get started with the Museum of the Coastal Bend and we meet Heather Para, who's here to talk to us about a new addition to their permanent exhibit. Welcome to Community Crossroads.
Thanks for having me.
So we're so excited to learn about this exhibit. It's part of Black History Month, but also will be featured there permanently. What can you tell us about this exhibit?
This is actually going to be great. We focused on a significant personage in archaeological history that hasn't gotten much light of day. This is George-mcjunkin. He was a former slave who moved to New Mexico and became a cowboy, taught himself to read and write, got interested in science, became an avocational archaeologist. He was the foreman of the Croman Ranch, and after a storm, he made a discovery that ended up setting archaeological understandings of the time on its ear. At that point, we thought that humans had only been in North America for 6,000 years, and George's discovery determined that humans had been here for much longer than that. Unfortunately, that was not brought to light until after he had died, so he didn't receive credit for it at the time. And we just think that he was such an amazing person and such an accomplished person, and this discovery deserves as much airtime as we can possibly give it. So this will be added to our permanent exhibit. We're featuring it especially this month, February, but it will remain in the museum with the permanent exhibit. And
what is part of the exhibit itself? What will we see?
Of course, yes. It's not an extensive exhibit. It's a small case with some artifacts of purpose to the exhibit. And it's kind of the feature is that as I had decided to do this happens a lot. I make a decision to do an exhibit and somebody will contact me and say, you know, hey, I've got this item, and it will be just the item that I needed. And this happened here again. A friend of the museum's actually contacted me and said, hey, I have this 11,000-year-old bison antiquus skull. Can you use it? Wow. And so the featured item in this exhibit is, in fact, this tremendous bison antiquus skull. So these were twice the size of our modern bison. You can imagine how impressive it looks. And then we do have a cast, a replica of the actual Folsom Point that was discovered at George-mcjunkin's site.
Wow, how exciting. Let's go ahead and remind our viewers how they can see this exhibit. It's at the Museum of the Coastal Bend, which is open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's at 2200 East Red River Street, and y'all are open Tuesday through Saturday.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Heather, for coming on the show to share this news, and I'm excited to see the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, coming up, don't go anywhere. We hear from the Victoria ISD Education Foundation.